So for a long time, I have wanted to build a dynamic scoring risk assessment tool. And for a long time, I mean a couple of decades, so quite a long time. And finally, I've done it. So I'm quite excited about this. So built into the platform now is the first thing that users will see is their risk profile. So this is using actual data from an oil and gas company. It is their production levels by country. And then what I've done is placed those out in the graph, and then I've added these two benchmarks. And this is for a demo. This isn't their actual benchmarks. Their risk tolerance, the level that they can accept for a short period of time, and then their absolute risk appetite. So looking at this right now, this would be their unweighted, their sort of gross exposure, let's say. And right away, you'll see that Angola is colored orange because it's clipping the risk tolerance. What this doesn't do, however, is take into account at all the geopolitical or instability elements of each of those locations. So if we pop on the risk weighted element, we'll see that everything changes over. So right away, both Brazil and Angola go up notably. Angola is now hitting the risk appetite, so that would suggest that some work needs to be done there to reduce that exposure. And Brazil has now moved into the risk tolerance zone. So straight away, we're seeing some differences. It's a little subtle to notice, but if you look at Nigeria and the United Kingdom, if we go back, even though these are both relatively low production levels, the exposure, the risk for Nigeria increases due to instability, and the UK decreases. Now, the important thing is this is dynamic. So this is being fed from the engine. So as the country stability ratings change, so will these ratings. So currently we're updating monthly. It's December 2024. Starting January, it will be weekly. So every week these will change. Now, if you add in an additional metric, for example, if they then wanted to say an average price of a barrel of oil, and add that on top, that's an additional dynamic piece of information because it's changing every day. And so therefore you now have a completely dynamic risk profile for the organization, all done in the platform. So right away you can see when something moves outside of normal and when you need to take some precautions. So a nice little thing to finish off the year on, and I'm really pleased to be able to roll this out now in the Decis Workspace.